to the
Scene 757. I'm just letting people know it's been a while.
It's been a while. All
It
right.
has been a while. Yes.
Hey, anybody out there? Let's see. We got anybody here? Say hi if you've joined us, and
Look,
we're excited. It's
let me put my headphones on.
You don't have your headphones
there we go.
on?
Yeah, I need more snare in my headphones. I can't hear that snare. Turn it up. I'm in the booth.
You are so crazy.
Anyway.
You are so crazy. Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Stan. It's going well, man. What a day. What a happy day.
Happy day.
Happy day in paradise. I'm trying to get my glare right. I don't need glasses. Thinking glasses. Just a beautiful day. A great weekend. And of course, I was in Charlottesville. That run in Charlottesville I had for a few days in between balancing some health issues that I had going on. I got torn meniscus now that I found out this morning. And well, it's just a complete. It went from a partial tear to a complete. So anyway.
So it was a what? What happened?
It went from a partial tear from 2022, a real small one, to a complete yeah.
So but, it was a what? It was a what?
BD's Breakdown.
I'm breaking down, Sam. I'm breaking down, man. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm falling apart. The doctors put me back together. You know why? I'm like an Austrian death machine. I'm like T-2000. You cannot destroy me.
You're so crazy.
So anyway, let's tell the viewers who are turning in kind of what we talked about generally, why we took the hiatus and what kind of caused that real quick before we get Mike on. And just, obviously for those that may have known me personally or tuned in, I was dealing with the decline and ultimately the death of my parents. And of course that in itself is a lot to endure. But I was glad, Mondays, every day of the week. So it wasn't a matter about doing a show. It was like, you've got, it was about being here, being mom, dad, and so forth. And then once they passed away, dealing with the aftermath of all of that. And I'm still dealing with the aftermath of all of that. But but it's getting better, like everything else.
It's been a year. It's been a year since we
broadcast. Can you believe it? And
That's crazy.
Speaking of years, I moved, in addition to dealing with that, I moved 3 times within a few months. Yeah. I moved in with my brother, which was a bad idea. And no offense to people with mental health issues. I'm a big advocate of mental health because mental and physical health, I think, are paramount.
Right.
But when somebody is purposely not taking medication and not medicating, and they tell you they are, and they're non-compliant, and you have to call the cops to the house.
Oh.
Yeah, then it's time to move on. So so I was lucky to rebound and find a great place here in Virginia Beach, right near Camp Pendleton, and I got a great landlord with a sweet little dog I love to death. Biz Murphy, Biz is great, and so anyway, I'm here at the crib.
Yeah.
And where are you? Tell the viewers where you at and how.
Well, I moved also. But I moved away from Hampton Roads, a little bit far away, not too far away, a little bit out to Charlottesville area, a little bit near Palmyra. So that was exciting. And so now I'm out here in the woods, not near the beach, near the mountains. So, but I still have lots of connection there in 757 and come back often. So.
Yeah,
there's that.
Yeah. So
anyway,
tell the viewers we were talking about doing this, and we kind of touched base on
it. Do it again. Say hi if you joined us. By the way,
yes, please do.
There's a couple of viewers on. Say hello. We'll say hi back, and we have a great guest on tonight. Yes.
What can't be said about the legendary Mike Williams? I mean.
Yeah, he looks like he's
chomping at the bit. He's ready. He's raring.
He's gonna have lots to tell us. He told us some stories already last week, and I'm excited to bring him on in just a second. And so, Michael, are you ready to come on stage? Just give me a nod. Yep. All right. So we're gonna bring him on right now. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Hey. Am I there?
You're here.
I'm now a part of it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So welcome, Mike Williams. So
Yes.
I would love for you to tell us when we asked you last week, you kind of gave us a synopsis. What was it that drew you into music? And you have this great story, and I would love for you to tell it.
Yeah.
Kind of blew our minds. Yeah, it was really good.
We loved it. We loved it. Yeah.
By the way, just so you
Well-
know, I can't hear myself in the
Oh.
headphones. I can't. Me.
I
But
don't. Okay.
we'll
I'm not
fix
sure
it.
what happened. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Hold
I
on.
can-
Can you hear
I
me
can-
now?
I can't hear me though. I can hear
Can
him.
you hear you now?
Let me see.
Can
Can
you
I
hear?
hear me?
I
Let
don't,
me
Can
try
you hear
the
me?
heads. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I don't know what
And
happened.
in the meantime, I'm also pulling this up on my TV so I
Oh,
can
okay.
see myself
All
while
right.
I'm listening to myself,
Okay.
while I'm hearing myself. Hey, there
Well,
I am.
Michael. Okay, so please
I
share
should
with
pay
us
attention to this.
your story. So I'm putting you on
Yeah.
solo so you can tell the story about how you got into music.
Okay. Well, I was 5 at least, and both my parents were in fraternity and sorority. And what would happen numbers of times out of a year is the two would get together, the fraternity and sorority, and put on a show. And one time, there's a place, a building still there that one side is on Granby Street and the other is on whatever the opposing street is, right over. And it was called, on one side, the Granby Street side was the arena, and the other side was the Center Theater. The arena had all the sporting events, had pro wrestling and roller derby, ice capades, ballet, all that stuff was on that side. And on the other side, the Center Theater was where they had like the big shows, like orchestras and all kinds of stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, and so they took me to the Center Theater, and granted, I was very young, really young, but I did talk with my mother about when we went there, and she told me I got to see at a really young age Duke Ellington with his orchestra.
Wow.
And Sarah
Amazing.
Vaughan singing in his band.
Oh, what?
And not just that, but the other band was Count Basie with his orchestra, and Ella Fitzgerald singing in his band.
Wow.
And
Well, what year was that, do you think?
oh, good gosh, that if I was 5 or 6, that would have been 61, maybe.
Okay.
62, 63. Yeah.
Neat.
But I saw that. I didn't know what I was looking at, but I did, thanks to television, get to see Duke Ellington on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
and I definitely remember seeing Ella Fitzgerald on his show as well, and other people's talk shows of the time. And I also saw Dizzy Gillespie.
Wow.
And Dizzy, when I first saw him, scared me because he had this trumpet that was curved up, like straight up, And when he would play, his cheeks would puff up like more than a puffer fish.
That's what I wasn't
That's
wondering.
his style, right? That's his
They
thing.
were huge. And
Wow.
just to see this happening with this guy, and then you hear all the notes coming out, and man, it was pretty scary.
Amazing. Wow. You see, Mark Dunn is on here, Michael. He says hi.
Oh,
His name was Pete Dizzy back then.
I like that guy.
Likes you, Mark. That's good. Hey, we went and saw Mark last week too. So.
That's right. That's
We had
right.
a bonus.
Exactly.
I would have gone. I completely forgot. Mark, I'm sorry. I'll see you next time.
Of course, we all know. By the way, we all know Mark is a great musician in his own with his bands and his incantations. But I mean, acoustically, he's just so rock solid. He's got such a great list. But anyway, about you, Mike. So a lot of people probably don't know this, and that you and I found out after we became friends. And we'll talk more about that. But your job at Trax Records, how pivotal and how important was that? I mean, back in the day, but there was no downloads. Mike worked at a record store called Trax, which was like the store.
Yeah, wasn't it like Little Creek and
Little Creek
and
Little Creek and Granby.
Yeah.
What kind of
that
impact?
Was the big store.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, first, before that, I would say just radio. Radio was such a big factor in me, like knowing what different kinds of music are. I still, as if it would have been yesterday, remember in the 60s, listening, probably 10 o'clock, I was in my room going to sleep, and I always went to sleep with the radio on. And I heard, I think it was When the Wind Cries Mary. I heard that on the radio, and it frightened me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it frightened me, oh, this guy is so good. It was just the sounds that were coming out of the speaker.
Oh wow.
It was frightening. And maybe even at that time, I kind of decided, well, I don't want to play in a band like this. And well, Brian, as you know, years later.
How many incantations in different bands did you cover that song?
Oh,
and then some more. Right.
They're still covering it.
Wow.
But you, like I said,
yeah. Well, so radio is one thing, and then as I grew more to wanting to listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it great when somebody just calls you like that?
Calling me right now.
Oh no!
Happens to me all the time, and it's usually with you. You're usually coming out of the shower, and I'm naked.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Hey, that was TMI, Brian. TMI.
That ain't happening right now.
I don't want to offend anybody.
TMI.
I'm going to let his call go, so I can keep. Yeah,
that's right. Just keep going.
Yeah,
that's right. So that's when you were a child. So now let's get to teens.
A really big catalyst in everything, because I'm listening to the radio, and then I get to see them on TV. So win-win. But as I got older, and would eventually start driving. I would sometimes just take a road and drive it out as far as I could.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to live on um, on Granby Street, across from the Masonic Temple,
Mm.
and so I would get on Granby, drive out, and right at the intersection, I saw tracks and I saw records. And all right, well, I've got a few records. Let me go in there. And I would go in, and it would be like, Shangri-La.
Oh, nice.
Everything I had heard on the radio was there, and other things were there. And I immediately loved records, the record store. I could tie it all in, watch somebody on TV, hear it on the radio, and then go to the record store, pay
Mhm.
$5 and get the record.
Wow.
And
$5.
that
Don't we
was
wish?
great.
Yeah.
Then I got a chance, after being a customer at Trax. I got asked, you know, hey, would you like to do inventory? Sure. They told me they give you a little bit of cash for 3 months, but
Uh-huh.
the main thing is you would get the employee discount.
Oh, that's
And
good.
it was
Were
on
you already playing
everything.
an instrument at that time? Were you
And
already
the
playing?
employee discount brought even a $5.99 album down to about $3 and change.
Oh, that's good.
And that was really important.
So, Michael, were you
After
already
2
playing an
years of
instrument?
doing that, then just randomly, one guy asked me, "Hey, would you like to work here?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That's cool.
So I
Michael,
worked
can you
at
hear
Track
me?
Awards Corner
I don't think I can.
for about 3 years.
You asked
Okay.
me.
And
Okay.
somewhere amidst that 3 years
All right.
was when I would start playing very casually in whoever's band.
Okay.
And
That's what he was
yeah,
asking. Yeah.
another important thing with that, with working at Trax, was I never knew that we got into King's Head Inn for free. Mr. Sherry, the guy that ran King's Head Inn,
Wow.
always came into Trax.
How cool.
Okay.
I would always say hello to him. He was always a great person. And I just thought he was, some old guy that just occasionally would ask for Paul Fussell, the
And
guy that,
and
was running Trax at the time.
and not to interrupt, just
And one night after closing Trax, some of the other employees said, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" "Well, just going to go home and watch TV." "We're going to the King's Head." "Oh, okay. Where is it?" Told me where it was. I followed him there. As soon as I opened the door, Mr. Sherry was right there, and he said, "Come on in. You work at Trax. You can go in." All right.
That's great.
And that was kind of my first really early exposure to hearing a local band. The band at the time was And the Jets. And that was a band that the guitar player, Eddie Berman, played in that band.
Just
And
for those, Mike, just for those who don't
he
know at home.
also became sort of a catalyst in the development of me years later.
Right.
Just for those who
But
don't know, King's
yeah,
Head was
so
one of
that's
those new breaking
kind of
ground places
the
for
Tracks
music.
connection, the
Yeah.
record store connection.
Yeah. So, Michael, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? I don't think you can hear
And
us.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I just want to let the
Mess up.
listeners know that King's Head was like the back in the day. I mean, it could be like anybody from Bruce Springsteen to Melissa Etheridge on her way up to Stevie Ray Vaughan on his way up to whomever. That was like almost like a takeoff club of sorts, right?
Yeah.
And so you were privy to all of that free shows that you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of a real pivotal thing. At what point did the whole Gibb Droll thing start? And I mentioned that name just because of what you did with Gibb and some of the notoriety that came along with that. I'm sure you had bands in between, but the Gibb thing was kind of big.
Well, that happened once I went to Loman's Plaza Tracks to work. And, well, first, I'd been driving by this place called Tony's. It's hole in the wall joint. Didn't know much about it. Occasionally, I would hear about an open mic there, and so I figured one night I went in there. I had my stick bag, and I got to play. I got lumped in with this bass player who played a Fender Precision fretless bass.
Mm.
Oh,
And that was Tom Hall. And so I would go there once a week and hope that I got a chance to play with him.
Absolutely.
Because he was the one that no matter who we got paired with, we were rock solid, and whoever could play whatever they wanted to.
wow.
It was a chemistry to behold on any musician who ever played with you and Tom, including myself. And there was Jimmy Williams, J.D. Silly, so many guys that, yeah. If you know, you know. I mean, that was truly a magic thing. And not only that, Tom loved you as much as you loved him. I mean, you guys were truly brothers at a high level. Dave Coggill, DC3, remember that incantation? You had so many different great bands. What was the two you guys were the rhythm section to die for? I call it like I see it. Seriously. And I was just young. When I met you, I was a younger whippersnapper trying to walk. Oh, speaking of that, remember that? Remember that day? Oh, that was the no shirt. There's Tom.
What's that? Oh my goodness.
This is from somewhere in the archives of, this is probably it was like mid 90s. Stevie Ray had just died, and I was on that whole kick of Stevie Ray Vaughan and blah, blah, blah. Like everybody wants to be like somebody else. And
Hey.
it was that's when I met Tom at the Jewish Mother Open Mic, which introduced me to you. And of course, I met you again at Holland Amplifiers one night with Bobby Massano, or Gibb rehearsing, Bobby and Gibb at different times. But yeah, that was a show that I kind of coerced you guys to come out and play with me.
Wow.
But no, that goes, yeah, that's got to be at least early to mid 90s right there, you know. And you've played with so many. I mean, outside of Gibb, but that combination of you and Tom were just inseparable.
Yeah.
People
Wow,
understand.
that's
If they
cool.
knew, they knew. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's great. So how many years? Okay, so tell us, you played the bass and the drums, right? Or do you play the guitar too?
Well, truthfully, I play or have played about 15 different instruments.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's violin, clarinet, bass clarinet, upright bass, acoustic bass, piano, synthesizer, drums. What else? The fretless bass now, and bass clarinet. I think I already said that. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Your
and
ear,
cello.
your ear is phenomenal, and those who don't know should know. I mean, Tom actually turned me on to you as a bass player one time when he couldn't do a gig. He said, "Mike," and I was like, "Are you sure that's your drummer? You guys are?" And he goes, "Yeah, use Mike." And I was blown away. And of course, you're speaking of bass, not to deviate from the progression, but you are playing bass at where you're at right now.
Yeah,
Lake Taylor, right? You're at Lake Taylor Rehab Center. That's where you
yeah.
reside. And of course, you do live music there for those who don't know.
That's
And
right.
tell us a little bit about that. Tell people who don't know what's going on over there.
Well, all right. So Gretchen, who is the director of the rehab,
That's right. Yeah.
or actually the rec center, we were just talking one day, and she said, "Hey, well, maybe one day you could get a couple of friends to come by and play." And so the first person I asked actually was Jason Cale.
Oh,
And
What a monster.
because Jason and I, like a lot of the people that I have played with and met over my career, I met Jason at an open mic. It was Goodfellas over in Hampton.
Right.
And he, I had already been up on stage playing drums. And he got up and he just started a song. Yeah, he's from New Orleans. And because I had played in New Orleans, in the French Quarter and at Tipitina's and all the really cool places to play. And I, basically walked down Bourbon Street because you really only need to walk down Bourbon Street once, maybe in your life.
that's kind of true,
If you can
right?
make it, if you can make it through, right?
You need
With the
either to
smell.
wear
Oh, the
blinders.
smell. Ugh.
You need to
I
wear blinders, and you have to have your nose plugged up.
Nobody tells you the smell. Like
Ooh, I didn't even
didn't
think about
have
that.
a clue.
Holy cow! I didn't even think
It
about
like
that.
it wafts at you, and you're like, ugh.
There is nothing like the smell on Bourbon Street,
Nothing.
and it ain't bourbon.
Speaking of that, tonight is brought to you by Blanton's, and no,
Oh, is it?
no,
Oh.
but yeah, that's quite a. Not to mention, first time I saw Jason, it was in a video that Russell Scarborough would posted, and I'm like, he did Killer Joe, an old jazz standard. And he was playing guitar. I was like, I need to know who this guy is, and I need to know who he is now. I was like one of those Eric Clapton moments where I wanted to know who. I was like, holy cow, where's he been? Oh, he's Air Force School. At the time, I think he was still Air Force School of Music. And you guys, hit it off like gangbusters, and he comes and plays quite a bit over there. I mean, he's a big part of what you do.
It's been I think going on 3 years now.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you
Yeah.
do it every Friday or just once a month or?
Yeah. What's the schedule on
Is
that?
it
So our
once a
viewers
month?
can know.
Is it just once a month?
Oh yeah. It's third Friday of every month.
Okay.
And the coming Friday, not this coming Friday, but the following, is going to be when we play. I think that's the 18th.
Uh-huh.
And it will be myself, hopefully Jason. I say hopefully now because he tried to call me to tell me something. And it'll be Tina McCula, who's singer, guitar player, songwriter.
How cool is that?
She was here in December, And Deb Mann, who I played with in my first country band, and that was band Slick Nickel.
Slick Nickel.
Yeah, Slick Nickel.
Which you actually gave me a referral to try out for it. I didn't make the tryout because I blew the solos and a country song, but that was early 90s. But yeah, Slick Nickel, I remember them. They were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Very cool.
It was a fun band. Everybody was fun except for the leader of the band.
He's a little intense. So were most musicians.
And it was that, it doesn't take me long to learn an entire night's worth of music, especially if I'm in like sort of on the spot and learning it in process while I'm doing it. And once I had it down, which would have been maybe
a couple days,
rehearsal, then 2 performances on the weekend, I got the show down.
Right.
Wow.
And what he would do continually is while we're actually playing, keep your eye on me. And I mean, he's yelling over to me continually.
Egos are us.
I already know what's gonna go on in every song. And he would just keep on it and keep on me. And it actually got so bad for me in that band that I developed some problem in my neck.
Oh no.
Because I was constantly like this. Constantly.
Oh no.
Yeah.
By the way, for those that are playing music, having your eye on the leader, of course, is I think stage visual acuity is key, right? But you're no stranger to the game at this point. This ain't your first.
Right. Oh man, yeah.
And he's like yelling it as if, well, it's almost like an ego thing. Anyway,
it might be like maybe
there's no egos in music. What are you talking about? There's no ego in music.
Yeah.
When you say that, when ego music came out, I was like, that's the worst name for a music store. Anyway.
But I mean, everybody else in the band, he kind of did the same thing to everybody in the band while we're on stage playing.
Oh, wow.
I tell you what,
I mean, it definitely takes away from what could be spontaneity.
Right.
I will say this. Can I interject real quick about my experience with him? He talked to me after the rehearsal. Like, his man, you played solid. You're this, that, and the other. But when it comes to the signature parts of the song, you didn't play them like the record. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I thought I did. And then he picked it out and showed me. And therein lies,
like the record.
Well, no. And therein lies what they asked for and learning it as it's written. There's a discipline within that versus everything is an improv and let's wing it. So there's a discipline within that. Maybe a better player. His critique actually may be a better player. So there's that.
There you go.
Yeah. For learning things in context of the music versus, well, I can play a little of it and then improvise. Nah.
Yeah.
By the way, you're an improvisational master. I just want to say this because, like I said, I mean, I'll just take Sissy Strut. It's like an old standard, Louisiana, the meters jam. And Mike would do things within the solo that were, I can't even describe it. He would play odd meters on top of keeping 4. As the hi-hat was keeping 4, he's playing odd meters behind and front, over top. Yes, I mean, tell us. I mean, it's just like insane some of the stuff that you would do, and that's just one example of Mike Williams' And back
So,
to the
Mike,
technology.
Mike, what is your most memorable favorite memory of playing in a band? What band was it, and what were you playing?
Good question.
Um, well, as far as I'd say, as far as like bands that I opened for first, um, well, one would be with Gibb, and when we opened for BB King and Bobby Blue Bland
Oh,
in
wow.
Oxford, Mississippi, at Ole Miss.
What?
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
The very first time that we, and at the time it was Gibb, Mike, and me, Gibb, Tom, and me. But the very first time we played there, outside of being the only one of color that wasn't on staff, we one of the fraternity guys who was totally blitzed,
Oh,
I think
beer drunk, and with a bourbon chaser, and he said, "One of these days, I'm gonna book you boys and have you boys play a big show." And I know I looked at Tom and I was like, "Get this guy." Like, I don't believe any part of that. Well, that drunk became the fraternity chairman,
oh,
and he was the one that booked us for this opener for BB
wow.
King and Bobby Blue Bland.
So he did remember you. That's awesome.
And
That's great.
even when we got there to offload our stuff, and he comes up to me and he goes, "You remember me? You remember I told you 4 years ago? I told you I was gonna get you boys a good show."
Wow.
And so BB comes out. I mean, Bobby comes out. Great show. And then BB comes out. And I'm sure everybody who's ever heard BB King or seen him on TV knows what he's known for. I mean, he is one of the
He's one of my
antithesis of
favorites.
the blues.
Yes, he is. Yes.
And
Brado.
BB's band comes out, and they do this hot, quick, whatever, an instrumental. And then BB comes out, and oh my God, this guy is playing like, now. If you're a guitar player and I make a reference, you'll know. But he was playing as fast, if not faster, than Al Di Meola. He was incredibly fast, and the difference was everything he played, as fast as he was going, it was all blues. Like,
Awesome.
man, I all the years I'd seen him on TV, and I had no idea
His
that
notes
this
selection.
guy
Yeah.
could do
Wow.
that.
Wow. About what year was that?
That would have been that probably would have been mid '90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Neat.
yeah.
And what was the name of your group that opened for him? What was the name?
No, that was Gibb Droll.
Gibb Droll. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't mean to disappear, but you meant like that BB King, that guy, that BB King over there.
I didn't know you had a
Yeah,
guitar
that
with
BB
BB
King.
King.
I met the Pope. It's a true story, and I'll just real quick because it's about Mike and not me.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I got to I went to a show in '95 and I waited around backstage with that guitar, and security comes out and he's like, "All right, everybody gets the wall." And I was like, "Oh God, we're gonna let you back 5 at a time. You get to meet him and you get to talk to him. But don't take long. He's got this, that. He's such a gracious, honorable." Gee, that's me with my head turned, shaking his hand in the green room,
Oh wow.
mystified and electrified. It's so funny. I had all these things I wanted to ask him. Like, what did you? I was speechless. I mean, it's all that one. What do you think about Hendrix? What do you? None of that mattered. It's like,
That's cool.
yeah. So,
yeah.
but
By
you
the
guys
time I got,
open.
yeah.
You
By
guys
the time
open
I
for
got
him.
to ever see him, he wasn't doing meet and greets or anything. He wasn't having that.
He was
He
all
wasn't
about.
having that.
He was all about it at the time. He was all about giving back to the fans and making the fans
Right.
who came out to support him feel appreciated. And I think
Yeah.
that's what music's all about. I mean,
Yeah.
But and Mike knows. I mean, Mike, I think music has kept you alive and has kept you here during your darkest despair. Because a lot of people don't know you have a story there too about some of the things you went through personally, losing the home you grew up in when your family passed away, and kind of bouncing around aimlessly like a motherless child. So to
See
speak.
that the last time I saw Mike play live was at our church. He was playing worship.
Praise and
Oh,
worship.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you play. Yeah.
You have really rebounded and been resilient. And there's something to that, Mike. And the key component is your heart and your love for others that attracts them to you. And also, of course, music, the great equalizer that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're even when somebody like myself sucks, and I still suck, but even
Oh, stop.
no,
Self-deprecation is not.
no. You and Tom are always just grateful, and you're always supportive, and you're always constructive versus destructive criticism. And I think that's what's important.
Constructive is important.
Constructive.
Yeah.
You can learn from construction, but you tear somebody down and say negative things to them, and they, but no, I thank you for that personally. And and just keep it going, man. You've done such a great job, and some of the other people you played with. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Be like Bobby Massanos, Deborah Coleman, some of your fun big tours. I mean, there's a lot of viewers that don't know about that.
I mean, you guys don't know the celebrity that he is for real. So.
And I'm just saying that. She's not just saying that. I'm serious.
I'm just a normal guy.
He's a normal guy. Well, that's very humble of you.
Yeah.
So.
And he's always willing to show you and teach. And by the way, you do sing. I don't think a lot of people know that you do have quite a good voice. I've heard you do some Steely Dan, Deacon Blues, which I was very impressed when I heard you do that. And you have a voice for radio too. That's another thing.
I try to sing. Actually, Gib wanted us to sing in the band. This was like maybe 8 years down the road. We've gone through Tom, Gary, Kevin Hamilton. That's a whole nother deal. And Bob. Bob was the last bass player of the band. And within the last 2-3 years of the band, Gib wanted the other two members of the band, being Pete and myself, the piano player, he wanted us to sing. But he didn't know what he wanted us to sing.
Wow.
And he didn't know how he wanted us to sing whatever we were going to sing. And I don't know, it kind of made it a bit harder to just play, especially for me, because I'd been not singing and just playing for 8 years prior with him. But after his band, then DC3 was sort of, I would go to places where they were playing and I'd invariably get called up to play something,
Tom's a bass player.
and the next thing I know, I'm in that band, and in that band, it was Dave Coghill, the lead guitar player and singer,
Phenomenal.
myself, drums and singing, Tom Hall on bass, and Steve Stelmasek
Sad.
on the tenor sax, and occasionally he sung. And that band was together for, I think, maybe 3 years. And thanks to my connections with booking agents, I was able to get us an opener, a couple of openers at the Norva for Leon Russell.
Mhm.
And
Oh wow.
the big opener we did was a sold out the Robert Cray. We opened for Robert Cray there,
Wow.
and the show was sold out. And happily, thank God, we got it captured onto a disc.
On you, oh wow! You should put it on YouTube or something. Absolutely. For those who don't know, Dave Coghill used to. You guys showed up to the Blues Jam. I used to host it on the Rocks one time, and they came out, and I was like, okay, once again, who is he? Why don't I know about him? I want to know everything about Mr. Coghill. So then I start going to his house. Like, hey, can you show me how to play that? And why do you play this way? Like he became one of my indirect teachers in a way. So you put this guy who is a phenomenal guitar player with a Mike and a Tom, well, or even a Ralph Copley who
Right.
also played with him, and
Yeah.
then the rest is history. But
So, Mike, do you have a YouTube channel or anything?
yeah,
Do you
let the
have-
viewers
what's
know.
up?
You
What's
have
your
one?
what's your socials you got?
Yeah, tell us.
I have my own YouTube channel. It's stuff that I've collected over the decades that people have posted.
Okay, right.
Very
That's
cool.
great. We would love
Yeah.
to see all that. Yeah.
Yes, the viewers would
So
love to see
what's
this
it
too.
called? What's
What's
it
it
called?
called?
What's your
Uh,
I'll put it in the comments. Let me know.
it's kind of hard for me to explain it, but it is VTHE
Uh-huh.
dot maybe Michael K. Williams YouTube channel or something like that. I really can't remember what it's called, but I've got, man, there's probably 40 different.
I bet people would love to see that though.
Yes,
Here, I'll
absolutely.
put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Look for it, you guys. The dot. I put 4 dots. I don't know if it's that or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't say start looking for it now. You ain't gonna find it.
Oh, okay.
So let me ask you this, Mike. If people want to see the what you're doing over there at Lake Taylor, if they want to tune in live every third Friday, they go to your channel. Is there a specific channel for this, or how can the viewers?
Just your Facebook or what?
Yeah.
Well, it's not on YouTube, but it is on Facebook, and it is just on my page on Facebook.
Okay.
Maybe I'll bring Vince Priester in there one day.
Yeah, and he has all different people. I've watched it myself,
Amazing.
so I know.
Yeah. It's almost reminiscent of an open mic. Yeah, it's
And you
amazing.
said it's the third Friday of every month?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
Can
Well,
people show up live and watch too? I mean, like if I was a fan of yours and I know you, can I just come in there and watch it too? Is that possible if I'm somebody?
Oh yeah. You can. Anybody is definitely welcome to come.
I love it.
And
the Lake Taylor, and where's it
experience
at?
it live.
Go ahead, tell people
Okay.
where you're at. Tell exact people where you're at.
All right, It is Lake Taylor Transitional Care Hospital, and it's on Kempsville Road, on the Norfolk side of Kempsville Road. So it's
Right.
kind of like if you're going towards the airport.
Right. Yep. I've been on
And
that road
yeah,
as a cut through.
I've been here for 8 years and looking forward to 8 more, or at least 8 more days.
And what time do you usually start that?
Yes, exactly.
That is at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and it is sort of like an open mic that I make sure everybody knows we're not really going to talk over songs when you get here. And, we're literally just going to play and somewhat let things happen.
Nice.
The beauty of
Nice.
organic chemistry, right?
Nice.
By the way,
Well,
my
yeah,
Valentine, my funny Valentine with Jason was just anyway. That's another thing. But yeah, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell
I
us.
mean, I can tell when things are going to work out, usually in a song or two. And it's just, I don't know, the experience that I have, or knowing who I'm playing with, or whatever.
And by the way, this is set up in like a conference room, or it's like a cafeteria. Where is it within the facility? Just so viewers know.
It's in the rec center. It's, if you're facing the facility, it's all the way to the right,
The best way I can describe it. Yeah, it's easy
All
to
right.
find.
and
If
it's
you go to
closest
the rec
to
center.
the lake.
Yeah, close to the
All right.
lake.
All right. I did rec center. All right. I put all that info in the comments so that
Thank
they
you,
can
Sam.
find you. Do other residents that are with you there? Do they come and watch or?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes. Essentially, every show is like a sellout, sort of.
Oh wow.
Really,
What?
yeah, it's really cool.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, it's at a point where sometimes there's no room for people who aren't in wheelchairs.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So,
So
it's
wow.
whatever the drawing power is, but it's
That's nice.
what happens here. And
That's
I
nice.
am always looking for other or new people to come to play.
It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
a-
if you're a
that's a-
local musician at 757 and you want to volunteer your time, it'd be
Yeah.
more than welcome for you to do that for a great cause. And Brother
Yeah.
Mike Williams, and yeah, it's beautiful. So
Wow.
very
Wow.
well put, man. I'm gonna start crying. So no, it was anyway.
That's neat. That's neat.
That
Well,
really is.
anything else you want to share, Mike? We've only got a couple more minutes, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions? Any fan questions? Any
any
what is
questions from anybody?
any of the
Please
viewers?
put it in the comments.
What does Mike like to
No.
eat for breakfast? What's his favorite drumsticks?
I love French toast sticks.
All right, French toast sticks.
That sounds diabetic, bro. It's not diabetic, bro. Lay off it.
Oh no, they have sugar-free syrup.
They do. They do.
By
have
the
sugar.
way, I told my landlord and roomie, I told her I was going to mention her name, Biz Elizabeth Murphy. That's the only time you're going to hear me say that. She brought you low salt chips while you were at Chesapeake Regional after a diabetic. Yeah, she brought you low salt chips, and she's part of the whole Gibbs roll thing when Gibbs' brother was a drummer. She was part of that whole regime. So I promised her I would tell you that. Yeah. So
that's neat.
yeah, I told her I'd be interviewing you tonight. She goes, "Oh my God, he can't remember me, but remember I'm just anyway." So, yeah. If any viewers have any questions, chime in now.
Yeah, and thank you guys for tuning in. We had quite a few, Mike. We had quite a few. I saw. That was good. So It's our comeback show. Of course, Brian doesn't like that I said the comeback.
No, I love it. I love it. It's like every time I hear comeback, I think of LL Cool J. Don't
It's a
call it a
comeback.
comeback. Mama said knock you out. Anyway, so those at home, you're in a 90s hip hop like I am, and a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, I have my spectrum of music. So yeah.
So Brian, are you saying that we're gonna do this again? Are we? Is this?
I think we should. No, I think we should, and I think we don't have to do it. You know, and yeah. Oh, by the way, I did want to say I felt under scrutiny that I can't be myself sometimes because like I get inside my head and like, oh, someone's gonna judge me for saying no. I'm gonna be myself, and
you are yourself.
And let's just keep the music going. It's all about our guests and what we bring in.
It is about the guests.
Yes, it's about the guests and local live music and the impact.
That's right. And since I'm not there, I can't do it at a brewery anymore. Darn. But anyway.
And there's a lot of great people out there. We got. I'm already thinking about the Steels. I'm thinking about Jake Ryan. He sucks. No, I love you, Jake Ryan. I got to get Jake on the show, and I think the Monarch and there's so many.
Yeah, Mike. Who would you want to see on our show?
Yeah, who would you want to see, Mike?
Let's see. Maybe it would be nice to do Jason.
Oh yeah.
We haven't had Jason on, right?
That's a no-brainer.
Actually, Joey Mondacek.
Oh yeah, we said we wanted to have Joey on. We do want to have Joey on. Yeah,
he would be an interesting person, and I'm happy that I did meet him. And when we first met, we just talked like we were brothers who'd never seen the other.
And that's your personalities are like that. He's a prince of a man. Yeah, you can't say enough about him. So Joey, if you're listening, I hope you are.
Yeah. Well, I'll tag him. We're tagging him.
Maybe this would be a challenge because it's been a challenge for me to even talk to Carl Wern. But
I've seen him a couple times.
But he would be an interesting person if you could nail him down to something.
How about if I can give Joel? Here's a song called Blue Love Shaw.
Hey, I just tagged him. Maybe he'll see it. Joey might see it.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, there's so much. Now that we're doing this again, and there's so many different facets of where we can go with this, and we love getting people on and just talking about their history and what they brought to the 757 and what it means to us as people who love music. Which
absolutely,
obviously, I'm a full-time musician. In case you didn't know. But I'm a music lover, and the biggest musical lover.
But I'm not.
You are well. You did grow up, and you are a musician too.
I wish I could sing.
No,
I can't. So funny. A lot of people think I'm a singer. I'm like, I'm not a singer. Don't ask me.
People about us. You're being around the blue. Anyway, you have your.
Being around the blues.
Go back and look at some of the past episodes.
The blues.
Look at some of the past episodes. We got to interview. But Mike, thank you. Yes,
Michael, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
And you have so much to share, and so you're connected to so many people in our community in the 757, and you have enriched all of the music around, and so we are very thankful for you. And I know you got a Vera Award, didn't you, last year?
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, it's right here.
Yes, so happy.
All right, there you go. See, I knew.
This award I won this year. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
All right.
And
that's awesome.
The one that I can't reach. Yeah, I can't reach that one. The other one was maybe 10 years ago. I called Jeff Macy and I asked him if I could be a presenter. He told me that he and the committee wanted to give me an award and they didn't have a category, and so they created the musician category, and I was the first recipient.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Wow. Wow, that's really
And
nice.
Veer does a great thing, and they do a great thing for a lot of people, and they recognize a lot of folks out there, and it's
That's
yeah,
right.
that's very cool. So now it's
Right.
2, and you're
All right.
Mike, well deserved, and
Yes,
thank you
well
for what
deserved.
you've done.
Thank
And
you so much, Michael.
I do want to come out there. You asked me to come play with you. I had a gig or something. I couldn't make it to Transitional Center, but I am going to come out there soon. I promise you. Maybe
Yeah.
Vince Priester's in town. I might bring Vince Priester with me on saxophone
Okay.
or whomever.
Well, and also just to let you all know, if you want to sponsor one of our episodes, please contact us. We would be glad for you to sponsor us. So we're looking for some sponsors. So there you
go.
are.
Always look for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
Always.
Michael. You
Mike
were
Williams.
a wonderful guest, and we really appreciate you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Right.
much. And
Thanks.
y'all have
Get
a
that thing out
good
of your
night.
hand. Get that thing out your hand. You can't
All
drink that.
Okay. Bye. We'll see you later. Well,
See you
bye,
later.
Brian. Take care.
Bye, Sandy. Thank you. Thank you.